Very good morning to all of you, my dear brothers and sisters. Welcoming you back to my channel. This is Subhendu Chowdhury from India. And friends, as you know, or might be knowing, that among the millions of people in this world, you might be the most fortunate one, the most luckiest guys in this world to know something which is so near to you, and that is your own self. As you know, the maximum of the people in this world runs after the outside world, that is the objects, to fulfill their desires, and very few actually wants to know the own self. And therefore, the shelter of all this, that is our body, the nature. In this video, we would discuss about the discrimination between the nature, our body, and soul. So, before I go ahead with this today's video, those of you who have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe so that you understand very well the next upcoming videos. And friends, this has been explained about the body, the nature, in Bhagwad Geeta. That is chapter 13, beg your pardon. It has been explained from verses 1 to 6. And that this nature and the soul is designated in Sanskrit as the Kshetra and Kshetragna. The Kshetra is the nature, the human body, that is the nature around us, and the factor which knows this body, that is knowledge of this body, is the Kshetragna, the embodied self, by those who have knowledge thereof. And friends, so the knowledge of Kshetra and Kshetragna, the embodied self, the spirit, is the actually true knowledge that you are going to know today. Okay, then here comes lots of questions. As the Arjuna, the disciple of Lord Krishna in Mahabharata, asked, what this nature is actually, what it is like, what it is forms, what it is modifications, when it arises of, and what is the other entity, that's the Kshetragna, the embodied self, the spirit, the soul, and what are its powers. Let's know. So, Lord Krishna, he answers questions to all this about our body to Arjuna in verses 1 to 6 of Bhagwad Geeta chapter 13. So the Kshetra, as it is the basic thing, and therefore I will spell it out for the first time. You can go through the Bhagwad Geeta also, but it is the first time, and so I will spell it out. The Kshetra, that is our body, is comprises of the 5 great elements, which I will explain just after some time. Then next comes the egoism, which is called the ahankara, the intellect, that is buddhi, the unmanifest, the mool prakriti. Then we have the 10 indriyas, that is the organs, including the sense organs. Then the one powerful mind, 5 objects of the senses, that is desire, aversion, happiness, misery, the body, intelligence, and passions. So the 5 great elements, that is stated in the first, the 5 great elements. Let's know it. That is in Sanskrit it is Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, and Prithvi. That is the sky, air, fire, water, and the earth. With these 5 major elements, along with, as stated above, comprises the human body, the nature, the outside nature, and all living beings. Okay. So, this further has the five objects of these major elements. The objects of these elements, that is sky, air, fire, water and earth, and they are, in Sanskrit it is shabd, means sound, the sparsh means the feeling, roop, that is the vision, ras, that is the so called wetness or sap, and the last one, the earth, is smell. So, gandh, shabd, sparsha, roop, rash, gandh. Gandh means the smell, that is the your sound, feeling, vision, wetness and smell. So, the sound and feeling and the organs, and the five sense organs, as you might know, you do know, they are called Gyanendriya, the sense organs. And as you know, these relates the sound, feeling, vision, wetness and smell. Five that is called Gyanendriyas are, the organs are ear, skin, eyes, tongue and nose. And its objects are sound, feeling, vision, wetness and smell, as you know. And the remaining 5 organs out of the 10 organs, and 5 organs that has been stated as the Gyanendriya, the sense organs, and the remaining 5 is the Karmendriya. Karma means one who did the work, does the work. So, the organs are, in Sanskrit it is Bhak, Pani, Pad, Upastha and Payu. That is the mouth, hands, legs, our reproductive tool and organ that excretes, that is Upastha and Payu. So, you will find that the objects of all these indriyas, mind it, the objects of all these indriyas, sense organs, are extrovert in nature. They are externally oriented, not internal. That's one of the reasons why people runs after the outside world. So, we have come to know altogether all these elements counts to 26. So, it comprises of the 26 elements, our body, the nature, the human body, which is the shelter of all these described with its modifications. Now, this nature, which is also called the Prakriti, you know, this has 3 special qualities known as gunas. They are sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. That is, the sattvic means the virtuous, the good, pure. The rajasic is the patient, relentless, restlessness. Passion and restlessness. You will find people who don't stop. They want more and more. They are restless, runs after money, runs after worldly things, runs. So, this comes from the rajasic guna. This is the passion, the restlessness. And the last of the gunas is the tamasic. Tamas means ignorance, that is darkness, ignorance. So, these 3 qualities exist in the nature, and the sattvic, the guna, that is the quality, it promotes knowledge and pure happiness. This is the resultant. Result of the rajasic guna is calm and egoism, greed, etc. by nature. And the third tamasic guna, that is the tamasic quality, its resultant is ignorance. So, all human beings are born of these 3 qualities, but the most powerful among them dominates the nature of a person. So, you have to master to promote the virtues, the sattvic guna, and tame the other two. God says, among all these elements, organs that comprising our body, God says, I am the mind. The most powerful, the organ is the most powerful, as you know. It drives you nowhere. Mind is the master. It is the king of all the organs of our body, as you know. The nature drives the mind, which uses its intellect and directs the brain for actions through the indriyas or the organs to deliver work or deeds, which is called karma, the work we execute. So, this has been interestingly explained in with the example of a chariot. Let's understand this way, the human body. As you know, the chariot is driven by horses, and to control the horses, we use reins. And the reins are in the hands of the driver, one who drives the chariot. Okay. So, here the horses are the indriyas, that is our organs, those are horses. The reins are controlling the horses. The reins are controlling the horses, that is our mind. The mind is in control of the sarathi, that is the buddhi, intellect, that is the God factor, that is the inner self, and body is the chariot. So, hope you have understood. So, it's all due to the attachment of the mind with its objects, which are extrovert in nature. Human are in bondage. That's the only reason why we are in bondage. Therefore, all these things as described as the body, the nature, is out of ignorance. This is no knowledge at all. Now, lots of questions will come. Then what? And why it's out of ignorance? And why it is no knowledge? This God justifies this way, as all the things that exist in nature, that is including our human body, all in this world, all matters are perishable. They don't last long or are exhaustible. It is there, but in true sense it is exhaustible. It is not same in all tenses. As you know, the body also don't exist for long. We have a life with a limited span, and once our life is finished, the body is finished. The body is of no use. So, let's understand this way about the nature. You might have seen oasis in a desert. From far away you will find that there is water in the desert, but as you go near, you will find that it does not exist at all. In other words, that was an illusion. It seems to be there, but in real sense it is not. The meaning is that therefore this Prakriti, so-called Prakriti, Maya or the nature, it is stated to be as anirvachaniya, that can't be decided. Why? Because it seems it exists, but in real sense it does not, because it is exhaustible. Nothing in this world exists for long. It is changeable. So, all the things that exist in this nature, that we see, that we feel, are existable in nature, and therefore it can't be said as the true thing. But God has a purpose. Imagine if this earth had been a desert, what it would look like? We wouldn't have been there. But God definitely has a purpose to create this world, to live in a beautiful place, and we are enjoying that, the nature. But human body is out of ignorance does not mean that it does not have any importance. It do have, surely does. God has definitely created human being with a specific purpose. God says human body is the only gateway, is the medium to know our inner self, the soul and God. Let's understand this way. Suppose you want to cross a river. What do you require? A medium to cross the river, and that is the boat. Now, once you have crossed the river, do you require the boat further? No. That means the boat is required only to cross the river, and after you cross the river, it's of no use. Understand this way. This river is the sansar. It's called the sansaram. It's the world. This world is the river. It's called Maya, or the nature. Our body is the medium. With true knowledge of this, we overcome the nature. But without the true knowledge, it is not possible. It is impossible to overcome this nature. The nature will exist. That's the God's creation. But we have nothing to do. We just have to know its true form and the way in which we can overcome it. So, once we overcome this nature, so-called nature, the world, the body is no longer needed, and that means there is no question of revert. There is no reason for revert. Once you have overcome, that means once you have known yourself, your inner self, the soul, the God. Now, this is the nature part. Now, let's see what about the knowledge part. What the true knowledge is? This has been explained in the same chapter 13 in verses 7 to 11. What's the actual knowledge? Let's view for this actual knowledge, the form of actual knowledges. God says, what are then these knowledges? I will spell it out for the first time. God said it is humility, unostentatiousness, harmlessness, forbearance, uprightness, service to the guru, that is the spiritual teacher, purity, steadiness, self-control, dispersion for sense objects, and absence of egoism, seeing misery and evil in the birth and death, old age and sickness, non-attachment and non-identification with wife, sign and home, the worldly properties. Those will be there. but unattached, always being even-minded, whether good or evil befalls, because that's the nature. That's the nature of the nature. Unanswering, devotion to God, that is the true form. Through the yoga of non-separation, that is through meditation. Restoring to solitude, aversion for company, always being devoted to spiritual knowledge. Perception of the aim of the knowledge of truth. All this comprises the knowledge, the true jnana. And what is different from this is the ignorance. So, what we have come through is just we have known the forms. This is just knowing the discrimination between the body and the soul, not the being minded. In one word, we can say the true form of ourself, the embodied self, the soul, the Atman, the Brahma, in one word is Om, O-M, Om. Actually, it comprises of three letters O, U, M, Om. That's the one word, Om, for the soul, the true form of the self, which is beyond nature, unattached. This Brahman, the O, is the creator of this nature. It is unattached with the nature. So, as we discussed in our first episode, why words occur within ourselves, there's the conflicts between these, as discussed in that comprises of the body, between these qualities. Conflicts between the qualities invokes words within ourselves. Due to the quality that exists in the nature, the rajas and tamas, that invokes external words to fulfill its desires. This is the real fact. So, to know the true self, as I mentioned earlier, all these objects of our organs, they are external, that is extrovert in nature. So, to know our real self, our inner self, you have to make our mind introvert, the opposite direction. We have to tame it, like the reins holding the indriyas, that is organs, as it is extrovert in nature. So, there Arjuna told Lord Krishna that it is so difficult to tame the mind. But Lord Krishna says it is possible. With many ways, as explained in Bhagwad Geeta in various chapters, we can attain it, our objective of taming it. Now friends, hope you are clear and I am able to explain, and if you have any query, please do comment on the box. Thanks a lot for being with me in this video, and if you really like to know the facts, please do subscribe and share. Take care of yourself. Until we meet in the next video, thank you very much.